All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Game Junction Podcast. It is New Year's Eve. Woo! Nobody's dropping any confetti. Woo!
No confetti.
No confetti. I should have gotten some. That'd have been nice.
Yeah.
But who wants to vacuum? I don't want to vacuum.
Right.
But this week we have our special guest Brandy, and she's from. I every time I see the name, I always want to go.
We can edit
but
this.
I see Gamer Ahmer.
Hey, we can edit this one, so I'll send it and put it in the Google Drive. So it's good. How do you pronounce it, Brandy? For him, it's
Gamer
Ahmer, right? Is it Ahmer? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But whenever I see it, I go Ahmer, and I go, no, damn it, it's Ahmer. So, but anyway, Brandy, how's it going? We're so glad to have you here with us.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
So, since it's New Year's Eve, what are your plans? Everybody, this is pre-recorded, just to let you know. You know it's pre-recorded. We're letting you know it's pre-recorded because we're all out partying and we're all going to be like drunk in the side of a road somewhere. So, but Brandy's going to be nice. She's not going to do that. So, Brandy, what are your plans for your New Year's Eve?
Just spending time with friends and family.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, that's all I'm going to be doing too. The drunken streets are 10 years ago.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Right.
But anyway, of course, we have Mark and Brandon with us. Say hello, Mark and Brandon.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, guys?
And Mark, I just want to say I always love that flag behind you. I
thought it was nice too when I bought it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's got a nice blend of stuff, so that's really cool. But anyway, we have a couple news topics for this week. And of course, when you're watching this, you're actually going to see this in the future, but it is our present. So we're just going to share this now. You'll catch on. So you'll be going, yeah, I heard that. That's old news. But Nintendo, they officially sort of apologized for the whole Pokemon Scarlet and Violet problems that they're having, and they promised that they were going to make sure that there were some nice updates and things for those who bought the games and who haven't actually gotten refunds on them. They've committed to resolving the issues. Now that's really cool. Now there was one update that came out this week, but that was one that was already in the works. So the ones to solve the issues are still forthcoming. Now, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now since it came out. Now, has anybody else bought either of the Pokemon games at all? I know I'm not a Pokemon player. So did you get them both?
Yep.
And have you had any issues?
I mean, everybody has issues. It's like not unnoticeable, but
okay.
I picked up the double pack. But
okay.
It's still, the thing is for me that like I'm still having fun with it. With Lucas and everybody I played with, we're all still having fun. Like we're enjoying the game regardless, right. and it does suck, and like you notice it, and we always point it out in streams. Like it's obvious as can be. Like
it's not broken though.
It's not broken, but when you can see like through a mountain, like your body can be standing in a mountain, and then you see a Diglett underneath the ground when it's supposed to be like looking like it's on the ground. It's kind of wild, but they said, hey, we are fixing this. We're going to work on it. We're not going to leave it broken. They've sent out several tweets about it. Like, okay, I'm still having fun with it. Disappointing, but it is what it is. I know Mark picked it up as well.
As long as it's operational,
Yeah, I mean, if I'm still having fun with the game.
Yeah.
It's still in like beta when they released it, pretty much. I have them. I haven't played them yet, so I can't really say anything about it. But it's serious when Nintendo tweets about it, so.
Yeah, and that's rare for them to go, hey, we messed up. You know why? Nintendo generally doesn't mess up when it comes to releasing their stuff. It's polished. It comes out and it works properly, but. Things do happen. It is 2022. We've had a few mishaps the past couple of years, and for it to be infecting Nintendo,
I don't know if it's a mishap. I think it's a known issue. They just don't care. But
we don't care.
I know the sentiment.
We don't care.
The sentiment that's there.
Well, speaking of screw ups, apparently Tom French 343's Halo multiplayer director is leaving the building. So that's one more person saying sayonara. See how I worked that in? Sayonara, Japanese, Pokemon. But anyway, after 11 and a half years, now he said he's looking forward to new adventures. Now, to me, that translates into, well, we failed for long enough, so I don't think I want to get anything on me while I'm leaving the building. So that's like 3 or 4 executives from 343 who have said, see you later in the last couple of months. So now I have not touched Halo Infinite's online multiplayer. I don't care. I just care about the campaign and stuff. Have any one of you three touched the multiplayer at all, or even the campaign?
I haven't played
Two times
in like 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I did 2 rounds of the multiplayer. I didn't have any issues. I thought it was fine, but it wasn't enough for me to go back. It just felt like a unfinished version of Halo 1 and 2 to me. But it was fine. I mean, it played like better than some of these like pay to play games. So I don't know.
See, I didn't care for Halo 4's multiplayer at all, and then I completely missed out on 5 because I was so disappointed with the game, and considering that I couldn't do any any split screen in the living room, my wife and we were just like, out to heck with it. So
Yeah.
I don't even know what the maps look like. Have no clue.
I mean, I couldn't tell you. Like I said, 2 times I tried it. But I did play some of the single player. It was fine as well. Like, nothing to keep me... it didn't keep me, entertained enough to want to go back or thinking about it. So...
Yeah. I'm a split screen guy when it comes to that game, but I'm also, they're trying to change the formula and make it open world and everything, like a lot more open world, less linear, and I'm not a fan of that either. I mean, maybe some things need to stay the way that they're supposed to stay, just because that's how they sell.
Works in an open, it's a very story-driven game, and story-driven games don't really work that well in open world games.
That's why
it's a little bit harder to do, right? If you have an open world, you got to have a story everywhere.
Yeah, it's gonna be more of an open-ended story.
Right. That's like with Metal Gear Solid. Not Ground Zeroes. That was the precursor. The one, Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
Mark, that's a very good point, because here you have a very story-driven franchise, a very story-driven game, and now they're gonna try to toss it in this open world format, and it's just like I finished those games. I haven't touched. I mean, I started playing Phantom Pain, but I was just like, and that was just kind of it. So
yeah, I only played Ground Zeroes. I never played Phantom Pain, so.
And it was very linear. You had to rescue the one person, and I don't know.
It was different, right?
Yeah, and you had to, I think, warm up some TV dinners, and I don't know, something, and then you had to get on the helicopter and lose your arm, or so, I don't know, something like that. I think the TV dinners part was optional.
That was a whole controversy in itself, right? Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, people didn't like that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. With trying to do it open world, open world games are my favorite now. I wasn't always that way. A few games made me really like them, but I just don't know that works that well. If you got to have all these side quests, all these other things you're doing, it's a ton of text that's working on all areas of the map, everything, which would be a massive area. I just can't see Halo working that way, but I mean, I don't know.
To be fair, it was felt the same way with Zelda. At least since the original game, kind of with the second game, they've been very story-heavy, linear gameplay for the most part. And then you kind of do Breath of the Wild, and it works with the open world, but to the detriment of its storytelling, essentially.
I agree with that. It's my favorite game now, but I agree with that. Its
story is definitely
pretty accurate. Absolutely, yeah. The story is like non-existent. It's like non-existent. I mean, it really is. Like, there's so little story, you could probably read it on a couple pages.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think if it's built from the ground up with open world in mind, I think that most people are not going to have a problem with it. But I think there are very few franchises, and Zelda, of course, is one of them, where of course, like you said, the story is going to suffer a little bit, but it's still a hit game because they knew what they were doing. Mm-hmm. And Kojima, he knows what he's doing too, but he also had Konami breathing down his neck, and it was his swan song with that. So it wasn't so much that he didn't care, but I don't know. Maybe the open world stuff needs to be left to games that are coming out that are brand new IPs, as opposed to something that is that's tried and true, because I know they want to try to keep up with the new boys, but sometimes people just want what they want. Mm-hmm. And
I think so too. I know this is a little bit of a hot take. For the longest time, Twin Snakes was my favorite, which is a remake. but I loved that on GameCube. I thought it was great. But when Rising came out, Metal Gear Rising, that's definitely my favorite game now. It's entirely different than everything else. I wish they would go back to that. Like, make a side game going more on that story or that style. Like,
I would like to see that too. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that I don't know if it was a rumor or if they actually did announce, but they are going to be doing a HD or a full remake of Twin Snakes.
Huh.
so they're making a remake of a remake?
Yes, a remake of a remake. So that way it'll be...
Remakeception.
Well, I mean, it's already kind of happened. I mean, you know, they did an HD remaster of The Last of Us, and then just a short 5 years later, now they're doing a full remake of a game that doesn't need one. So it's just
Twin
kind of
Snakes holds up, man. That's one
Yeah.
you can go back to. I replayed it like 2019. It holds up now. I mean, I think it's fine.
I still like playing too. I mean, it's a little grainy. I mean, I play the the HD one on PlayStation 3, but it holds up. It's a great game. I still have to play Snake Eater though. I've heard that's still the best one. And
It's not my favorite, but I like it. I do like it.
I'll take your word for it.
I mean, I think that, Metal Gear on the MSX holds up, so don't ask me anything.
Well, apparently, coming this Easter, there is a PC game coming out where you can play as Jesus. Not Metal Jesus, the actual Jesus.
I swear to God, you and those references.
Hey, he got the name for the long hair, but there you go. So, but the actual name of the game, the name of the
What do
game...
you-
How this works, and I don't see how Jesus works in a video game.
Well, apparently it's called I Am Jesus Christ. There will be actual events from the life of Jesus, and more will have a video game-like feel and story. So, where
excited.
you'll actually fight the devil and, I don't know, do whatever.
I don't
Maybe
know
they'll
how that works.
So
throw
is
in
it
some
a,
extra...
With a lot
is
of
it a
the-
sequel
lot of the-
to
It's
a
first
sequel
person.
to the Bible game on
No.
PS2?
No, it is
Aw,
not made. It is
man.
not made by those people.
Come on, I
Um,
need a sequel. I need to know what happened after the.
Well, you
the
can actually
Armageddon.
watch. You can watch I Am Jesus Christ prologue from the developer on Steam, and the developer is Simulam, and I guess that's where you'll be able to
You know
also
what?
download.
If I can beat
But it is
Jesus Christ with an AK and just fuck people up, I'd be happy.
Dude, I'm down.
that reminds me of Family Guy. You know, what was it? What was that thing?
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, yeah, and
I
then
can't
he
think
had.
of the exact stuff, but I'm getting some kind of like fuzzy picture.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. More power to him, right? Like,
I'm a Christian person, but I would play it just to see if it's any good.
well,
You know,
wouldn't it be targeted at you then, right? I mean,
Not necessarily. I can see a lot of people who are, if as long as it's a good game, I can see people who are complete atheists playing that. Matter of fact, I know some people who are atheists and agnostics who actually act more Christ-like than some Christians that I know. So
Yeah.
that's as far as we'll go with that, because this is a gaming channel, not a religious channel. So... But anyway, that's it for the news. It's going to be a short show today, and so I thought we would actually ask Brandy a little bit more. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with your Hulu, with the show you were on there? Because I want to hear a lot more about this. Because as you know, I know you have your. I've started watching, and I did subscribe to your channel. I am really digging your channel, and I've watched a few videos so far. But how does that relate, to the Hulu show? And well, I'll just let you take over from there.
So what had happened was, so pretty much one day, I'm always on social media. I'm always looking for video game pickups. I'm always, out there looking for things. So I get a message from someone on Instagram, and it's in my other folder. And this person introduces themselves as a producer for ABC News' Nightline. And I was like, there's no way. This is probably a scam, But then I start, clicking on the profile, and then I start clicking on, other stuff. And I'm like, this seems pretty real. So they essentially asked to do some sort of interview for an upcoming, TV show. And I'm like, no way. Because I had something like this happen before. but it ended up not happening. The network never picked anything up, and it was squashed pretty early on. So I didn't really know what to expect. But then I started getting messages from the people who put together Retro GameCon in Syracuse, New York, and a couple, video game stores that are also in New York. So all these people are reaching out to me and messaging me, asking if I'm coming to the convention, that I should definitely come out to the convention, and I should take up this, this news offering that's going on. So I do the interview, and they love my background. So not this room here where I have my, video game, like, toys and the newer games and stuff. I have my entire basement, and that's where I did the interview at. So they really liked how my setup was, and I'm not too far from New York. So they said that they could come out and film my collection. I could meet them at Retro GameCon as well in Syracuse, New York, and they would film me at the convention and kind of follow me around. So I agreed to it, and next thing you know, everything goes well at the convention. I have a blast. I pick up a lot of Super Nintendo games and things that I want. And then they come to my house. Now this is like a whole news crew is like coming out to my house, and they're out here for like over 8 hours. We even have food. We have like
crazy.
Food and stuff together. Now they're filming like almost the entire time. And then, one of like the reporters actually shows up. So after they got all their B-roll footage and everything else and a little bit of, interviewing styles, I get to officially meet, all these people, and it's just really cool. So we're playing video games. We're talking about these childhood memories. We're just talking a little bit about, like, the retro collecting, how I've collected for a long time now, and I've always played, my entire life, but how, like, some of these prices definitely shot up, during, like, the pandemic and everything else.
Right.
So, next thing you know, I get a message, and they're saying how, like, everything's coming together, the whole piece is coming together. They had to, I guess put out a couple episodes before, this one, and then they said, oh, by the way, this is launching, on this date, and I was like, okay, Let me go watch it. So I stay up till midnight, I wait for it to, go, because I don't even know what it looks like. Like, I don't know how they're bringing this whole story together, and then next thing you know, I'm watching it at midnight, watch through all of the Taylor Swift stuff at the beginning of the episode, and then I see me, and I see, like, the video game stuff, the whole story that they did on it, and I'm like, this is so cool. This was, like, one of, like, the coolest things that, I got to be a part of, and I just thought that it was a really awesome experience, and I just really had a blast. We were just playing games, talking about games, and just really having a good time, and I love when people come over, and I get to see their reactions to things that maybe they don't really play with now or really, like, have in their life today.
Yeah.
But the memories just start flooding back in, and then the cameramen are sitting down on the beanbag chairs, and they're playing Donkey Kong, and, we're all just, like, cheering everyone on, and it's so much fun. So that was, like, a really cool experience.
Heck
That's
yeah.
amazing.
I bet you got a lot of, oh, I used to have this, or, oh, this is really cool, or, oh my gosh, where'd you get this from? Or, I wanted one of these and Santa never brought it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is really cool. Yeah, that's definitely a unique experience.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would be. I think I'd be worried it was a scam too. It's like, I'm gonna click and see who you are.
I wanted to, while I think about it real quick, I see there in the background the White Tiger Zord. I wanted to acknowledge Jason David Frank's passing. We're all, sympathetic to that. Yeah, I've been staring at it the whole time. I had that one just a few years ago. I sold it, but yeah, I did want to mention that. It's pretty sad and kind of heartbreaking the way everything was. So, yeah, I got to meet him 2017 at the convention. He actually sat at the table and talked to me for like 5 minutes. Like it was cool. Yeah, really cool.
That's pretty cool. Like
Yeah,
well,
conventions are definitely a cool place to, meet a lot of these people. And usually they're just sitting there, and if they don't have like a huge line at the time, they'll talk to you about different things. They'll kind
Yeah.
of get your input on things, and they'll just laugh and joke with you. And it's a really cool, experience to kind of meet everyone that you either idolize growing up, or that you recognize, or that you appreciate. You know, Power Rangers, or growing up watching all of that.
Yeah.
Now, what is the game con that you mentioned that's out there that you met the news crew at?
This was a Retro Game Con.
Retro Game Con? Okay, now
Yeah.
where's that usually at?
In Syracuse, New York.
Okay. See,
I've
I
had it for many years. This
that
was
rings
my
a bell.
first time ever.
Retro Game Con. Yeah, it does ring a bell. I'll have to write that down and check out their website, see if they've got that going on, because we've, of course, around here, we have CGC and CAG and Torg and Korgs and all that here in Ohio, and we've heard of these other ones that are like in Portland and Arizona and others around the country. But that one rings a bell. But it would be cool to be able to go out of state, because it is true. I've heard a lot of different gaming YouTubers and stuff say that no matter where they go, you always end up finding a different kind of stuff that like there's different kinds of merchandise no matter where you're at. Stuff might gravitate more toward
I know
one thing or something.
John Hancock was telling us exactly that when I was driving in the car. He said that was his favorite thing to do with the conventions, because there's completely different games at every state that he goes to. Like he said, the selection's different. You might find something that, hey, I wanted this, but I haven't seen it here in 10 years. Like, just kind of like that all over the place.
Well, that's like a lot of the stuff that I have seen at the last 3 conventions that I've been to. It's varied a little bit here and there, but of course, when you see some of the same people, you're like, oh, okay, you have some of the same stuff.
Still in Ohio doing that.
Right.
So,
but I wonder when I'm going to go someplace, like let's say I decide to go, to Illinois or something like that, and go to a convention, and then I start seeing stuff that it's just like, wow, this is when I need, a bigger credit card, or this is when I need a big wad of cash, or I'm going to have to put some of this stuff in a FedEx box and ship it home just because I don't have room in my car. Because or this is something that like, for example, I've been wanting a Vectrex for about 20 years now, since I did have the one for a month and I had to get rid of it, and now I'm dying to have another Vectrex. And every time I'm at a convention around here, there's never a Vectrex. There was the one, but that guy was way overpriced.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
I'm the same way. I've been looking for probably almost 15 years at this point. So I remember when I started, I wanted that my junior year. So it's been a long time. I just got mine this year, so it's and I had to order it online. I met up with somebody in a group, like we had a little group chat, and he was selling it. He made a deal with me. I had the box. Like, I got it for a really good price, but don't overpay for stuff like that, because when you really want it, it's almost like, hey, I might pay that $800 or whatever they got marked on it. And I'm like, there's just too much stuff. It's not like we're going to have time to play all the games anytime soon anyway. So it's like,
right,
pretty crazy. But Vectrex is awesome. I love that system.
Yeah, I know I can emulate that stuff, but it's not quite the same, because you're not looking at that little monitor, and it's built for vector graphics, and you're not using that specific controller. So, I would rather just have the real thing, because when I bought mine, it only came with the one game, and it's been so long, I don't even remember what game it was, and I just want to get it so I can have some fun with it. I'd rather not. That's the one thing that if I'm going to emulate something that's on Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo or whatever, I'm not going to miss out on the experience so much, as long as the game behaves exactly like it's supposed to. But if you have something that's supposed to be, contained in a specific little arcade unit, that is the experience itself. So
let me tell you something really cool. I know a guy that I'm friends with, right? Him and another guy are working on a Vectrex port of Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And it already looks pretty finished with an overlay.
That'd be
So
cool.
it looks really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Yeah.
got to be better looking than the Atari 2600 version.
Absolutely.
Even though that version was a miracle. I mean, I did watch the Atari
Game
50
is so bad.
stuff. Well, considering I give it a break now after watching part of that documentary from the Atari 50 celebration.
Defend Pac-Man, then you can't defend that game.
No, you can't. You really can't defend that game. That was part of that was Atari's fault.
Yeah,
No, let me rephrase that. 95% of that was Atari's fault, not the programmer, because he was given a week to do what he had to do to get prepared, and then they cheaped out on the ROM. And instead of doing the 4 kilobit one, they did the 8. Or instead of doing the 8, they did the 4 just because it was
4,
cheaper. And it's just like, listen, this thing sold 8 million copies, but can you imagine if today that would have been the game that sold 20 million copies and people didn't say what a piece of crap it is?
Yeah.
You
Junk.
can have something you can have something that sells greatly, and then people go, oh. I mean, look at the movie Titanic. How many people went and saw Titanic, and now they're like, oh, I wouldn't watch that shit for the world.
I'll tell you what, though, what's cool about the community is that there has been homebrews fixing that Pac-Man, and people doing, there's Pac-Man Plus,
Pac-Man
I think
4K, Pac-Man 8K.
Pac-Man, yeah, and that's cool. People care enough in the community. It's almost like there's more people wanting homebrews with the 2600 more than like anything else almost. I always said Dreamcast, but I don't know anymore, man. I'm seeing the homebrews come out the yin-yang on it.
That 8K one that I saw, and of course the 4K, that one would have been the correct ones to go on those size ROMs.
Yeah.
But that, I can't remember the name. I want to say it's Todd Fry, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the developer, Todd Fry.
Todd, yeah, is it? Yeah, okay, I think so too.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
sure.
that poor guy. I mean, just I hope that people don't see him and go, oh, so you're the one that did the Atari Pac-Man. That's not nice. Don't do that to Todd. Todd did the best with what he had.
I say just go play the ColecoVision version. Good.
Yeah, or the 5200 version,
Or the 5000.
or anything else. Heck, you could probably draw one on cardboard and get yourself some marbles, and it'd be more fun.
Talk about time crunch in 2020. That's some time crunch. 1 week to make a whole ass game. Like, that's wild.
Do we want to go ahead, so we can actually cut right here, since this is pre-recorded? Do we want to go ahead and do the Harbinger of Memes thing, and then we'll go into the next segment, which will be our last segment, which would be the game consoles and stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's just make sure, as long as we hit that 60-minute, we're good.
And where are we at now?
I don't know. Mark,
we're at 35 minutes, but there's a few minutes of that was just so I had some.
So we're about 30.
Probably a good roughly, because I wanted some of the intro stuff, but I don't remember how much it was we were in before it actually started recording.
No, you're good, man.
We'll hit it.
If we go like 10 minutes over like the 60-minute mark, that'd be probably close to
it's fine.
Hour, so.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and introduce the. Go ahead and play that video, and we'll get the first meme up there then, and then I'll.
All right.
So how's this?
Give me a second.
All this supposed
It's
to work?
gonna be. I don't know, really. To be honest, I don't know how accurate this is going to be.
How it should work is the first video should come up, and then he puts up the first meme, and then we.
See, you don't even have your screen share up to do it.
Who?
Because there's no option. Scott.
Screen share.
Yeah, it's in.
Wait, I thought that's what you were doing for the memes.
No. I can. I thought you were supposed to download them. I can do it.
No, hold on. Let me. Yeah, if you can, go ahead. Because I didn't know. Where am I supposed to download them from?
From the folder on the server.
I didn't know you put it on there. Okay,
I told you that 2 or 3 times.
Dude, I have had a crazy day. I apologize.
It's okay.
Technical issues.
Stress will kill everybody. All right.
It is killing me.
Luckily, it's not live, so it's not like a big issue.
Yeah. This is why. This was my. But something like this could happen. It almost did, so I'm a little bit nervous about doing it live.
And if it does, we're not NBC, ABC, Fox, whatever.
No, Scott. But it's still. Let me just download them on my end. I think it'll work easier if I do it. Should only take a second.
All right, I can
edit
stop
if need be, to the best that you can with this.
All right. And it's in. Which one's it in?
It says Harbinger of Memes. It's a folder.
No, I meant which drive.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't remember now.
I
I think
guess
it's just on. I think it's just on Game Junction.
Okay, let me minimize. It's not coming up.
I could be lying.
it's a 50-50 shot at worst.
It is. I mean, I put the news topics thing on both just for the fun of it.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. Like, if we did just start using the podcast specifically for this stuff, that'd be
That's
great.
probably a
but-
good idea.
Well, the only reason we have it is I can't pay for that one too, but we have to pay to upgrade the
Oh, really? Well, then
storage.
We'll just keep it on the other one then.
But inevitably, that's going to fill up with videos too.
Well,
so
then
it's
that's
like,
an eventuality.
On
then.
the drives.
yeah.
Well, the thing is to make sure you delete them. They're not on there too long. As you put them in there, grab
Yep.
what you need and then delete them. If you need to save them on a local drive, that's fine. But if you want,
every
I
week
think
I'm,
Scotty put it in the podcast because I don't see it. So let me.
yeah, because every week
I
I
found it. All right.
I'm gonna leave the video in there because we'll need that every week. And if you download it to your local computer, that's fine. But the memes themselves, I will delete them every single week when I upload new ones, so that way the fresh ones are in there.
Yeah,
it's what
we
I
don't
try
want
to
the
do.
other-
It's what I try to do with the podcast. When I throw them in there to download them, as soon as I have it downloaded, I just delete it because it's just gonna eat up like 5 gigs of space, and that adds up pretty.
Well, yeah, but you know what the problem is with that, Mark?
What?
We are missing 3 of the podcasts on Facebook, and I don't know how to get them if they're deleted.
I keep them for like a week or two local, but after a while I
Okay.
get rid of them because they're just old.
Hold on, give me a second. I got it on there though.
I'm looking at the base of my microphone; it's so dusty.
So are all of you guys in Ohio?
No, just Brandon
those
and
two.
myself.
I'm
Okay.
from Ohio, but I'm in Wyoming right now.
Oh, my dad goes out there hunting.
Give me a minute, 'cause we're doing
Really, all there is to do out here is hunting.
I'll get it in a bit. Love you.
Wasn't my choice to come out here.
Yeah, I should be going. I think to Korg's. He invited me. I guess he saw my Hulu. thing.
Gary invited you.
Yeah. So he
I was-
reached out to me today.
I was chatting with Gary the last couple of days. He seems really nice. That was funny though, because he was just like, "Oh, you sure remember we talked at the at Torg?" And I'm like, "Dude, I talked to so many people." He goes, "Oh, you sure remember my hair?" And I'm going, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, so that's cool. You know, we'll see at Corks.
Yeah, as long as my work schedule and stuff, matches up. But it sounds like I'll probably be there.
Well, that's
'Cause
what I told him.
I usually go down to South Carolina as well for the Southeast Game Exchange.
Okay.
I really enjoy it there. I got that Sega display cabinet, the store display from the 90s. I got that. And I drove it like 9 hours back home.
Oh wow.
That's wild.
With this, like right up on the steering wheel.
Jeez.
Okay, so this is not
That's
wanting
funny.
to. Oh, yeah, it brings up the folder.
Yeah. Yeah. I that's what I told him. I was like, unless somebody stupid decides to get married or something like that, that Saturday I'll be there. So.
Guys, this is gonna look so bad. You have to show in the folder and everything, so I don't know how on the fly to do a whole other.
Wouldn't you just full screen it essentially, or there should be?
No, I got it. It's on here. I'm just like, it doesn't look good doing this.
I mean,
at
if
all.
we need to tweak it in post, we can.
Just edit it in post.
That's yeah. Okay, yeah.
Until we figure out how to get it to work properly.
There we go. All right. Hold on 1 second. I have it on there. Let me.
Yeah, so show the video, then do the first one.
Just don't
and
delete
then-
them out until I get them downloaded.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to copy and paste them into the chat to make it easier.
There you go.
Yeah. And then I could just hit it and full screen it or something.
Brandy, is that show in South Carolina? Is that a 1 day or a 2 day show?
It's a 2-day.
Okay.
So I usually go down. One year, I got stuck trying to like get my car, just like routine maintenance, and it was like I guess like
Oh,
the year of
no.
COVID, and I didn't get on the road until like 6 or something at night, and then
Jeez.
I rolled into the convention like in the hotel at like 4:30 in the morning, and then since I was like a special guest, I got to be in at 7. So by the time I got up, straightened and dried like my long hair and everything else, I only got like an hour of sleep, and
Wow.
was there like the whole day, had like a piano and everything. But it's so much fun. So now, last year, the second year that I went down a whole day, ahead of time. Actually got like a good night's sleep, and then, was ready to go. And then I know a lot of like the YouTubers and like the local people, like Pac-Man Case and then NES Addict. So we all kind of have like an after party like at their house where we just like relax, play games, talk, chat, catch up with the families.
One of them didn't
It's
work.
just like a cool time. So
It's like,
Is it still uploading or processing? Right now?
no, it just went up. I just got it, so let me see what it does when I click it. I've never put images in here. View, no.
Oh, you're talking about the chat.
Yeah, they're on there, but there's nobody to be able to see it. They're so small, and I don't see a way to like go full screen with it unless let me try share your screen. All right, well, we're just gonna roll it doing it the other way for now. I can't figure it out, so I'll tell you when to go, and then we'll cut back in.
Yeah, watch stream. Hey, look at that. Oh, there's your folder.
All right, whenever you're ready.
I'm gonna change that Harbinger of Memes video. I'm actually gonna put a voice in it too. So.
Oh, so you want me to? But we're not showing the video, correct?
No, we are showing the video. We gotta show the video
Okay.
every time. Yeah, we gotta show it every time so people know what we're doing.
Then let me actually go ahead and just pull it up. I thought I was going to have to switch between them. And this is probably going to ask for a new screen, though, since media player is coming up. Oh,
media
Lord.
player. Ugh.
That would have been so bad if we had that on live. It just blasted my eardrums out. It's so loud. Hold on.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, well, that's not good. If you can't hear anything, then I can't show it.
I don't see anything yet. It's plus it's muted on Discord.
You know why? You know why? It's because
I keep seeing
I have to show it to the media player like window now. That's why. So I gotta back out.
Now
It's a new window. Technically.
Okay, now this is the first
there we
time
go.
I get to make fun of PCs and how my Mac worked just great last week.
No, it's user error, I promise. All right, tell me if the sound works here.
Rewind it. No, sound's not working. I can barely hear it.
Okay, so let me turn it up. It's super loud even right now for me, so. Can you guys see it and hear it?
It's muted.
I barely hear it.
I don't even see it. Oh, no, I'm just retarded and I didn't even bother to click watch it.
That's why.
I was wondering.
All right, tell me if you're hearing it then, Mark.
Barely.
It's showing it's muted on my side, and I don't know why.
You just want me to do it?
No, it was for some reason it automatically muted it when I opened it. Tried again.
All right, let's try it.
It's still really low.
It's low, but I can hear it.
Dude, it is so loud in my headset. It's unreal. All right, let me put it all the way up. If not, I don't know what else to do. You know why? It's because you guys gotta have Discord turned up. That's what's controlling it, not me. It's all right. If you want to do it, Scott, that's fine.
Because I'm not. Oh, I see it now. I've never done this, so I'm still new to it. I see the audio bar now for me.
Share your screen.
We definitely have to look around and try to get more familiar with it because there's so much I don't know on here that I see people doing. It's like small servers. And they look super professional.
So
I'm like,
screen too. Well, yeah, but I mean, they've been doing it for a while too.
there's websites you can pay like $10 to have them just set up your Discord. So okay, I can't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear it that time.
No, so yeah, it's perfect here. That's really weird.
See?
I wonder why it's not doing it.
I don't think a video is going to work out very well.
Just edit the video. Just edit the video in.
So what's the purpose of that video instead of just like showing the actual memes then?
That's what I'm wondering. I think he's trying to do like a segment, right? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Like building it as like a radio show segment type thing. I get what you're doing. That would be cool.
We're not a radio show. We're a video show, and we're doing a segment. Damn it!
I think it'd just be better just to show the memes, and we just go from there.
That's what we're going to do right now. Just go ahead and edit that in, and nobody has to know that we're
Got
screwing
like 10
around.
minutes to clip out anyways. It doesn't really matter.
All right, let me clip out of this. God, how do I shut this shit off?
You gotta hit share screen button. You need to
Okay.
chill and quit being a boomer.
All right.
You brought out the B word.
I did. Scott is like the most boomer I've ever met.
So, what, 2018, 2016? I don't know.
So I'm behind the times, guys. Brandy, I apologize. This is luckily trying to do this with it pre-recorded is it wouldn't be like this live, I swear.
Yeah, I don't really know any of this stuff.
No,
so
you're good. We haven't done this, so this
It's
is just
yeah.
it's a
This is all
special.
new to me.
We're doing a special, so it's really supposed to be kind of around you and New Year's, but like we're going to talk about games coming out, whether it's retro or modern, and kind of leave that as like probably the biggest portion. Speaking of which, I need to pull my thing back up because I don't. There's only one game I even know about next year, or that I remembered, which is Breath of the Wild 2.
All right.
All right.
So here's the first one. And we'll go full screen there. All right. So, gaming until 3 a.m. in your 20s. Death to gaming until 3 a.m. into your 30s. Oh, God, help us. So, I mean, I'm a little older than 30s, but I'm sure some of you guys are feeling this now. You're not gaming as much as you used to in the
I still do.
wee hours.
I'm only 29, so I'm not in my 30s yet.
You're getting close, though. Getting close. All right. So, unfortunately, I have to back out. And then, because this doesn't work the way it's supposed to, because what Tony said. All right, so we'll show the next one. Oh, it didn't open all three of them up. You son of a bitch. Oh, there it is. There's the other two. I hate it when it says, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and open up two of them instead of three when I chose all three. All right, here we go. Well, here's the lawn mowing simulator. Well, all right, let's play this one now. So I would totally, if
There's
this
already
was
games like this out with Truck Simulator.
Yeah, there's
Farm Simulator.
literally
It blows my mind. Those are actual games that people play.
there's Car Wash Simulator. Have you played that one?
There's a car wash simulator?
Is
Yes,
that the
sir.
one? Is that the?
It's fun.
It's like a Power Wash Simulator game too, or something.
Yeah. I don't know
I
about
love
power
watching
washing,
those
but
videos.
yeah, it's actually fun. Like it's
satisfying.
on Game Pass. Yeah,
I
on
want to
Game
get
Pass.
Goat Simulator.
It's not great.
No.
At least for me.
It's an
I don't
amazing
like
game.
it.
Best game,
All right.
funniest game I've ever played.
Mark, get out of here.
Completely
And here's the
different.
next one. It's Marvel Studios' God of War Ragnarok. with I just now noticed, I saw it earlier, but it really didn't sink in. There's Fat Thor and
Yeah, man, the only Thor. That's the only
yeah,
Thor that
the only
matters.
the
Is
only
this
Thor
not
that
the
matters.
actual poster for God of War Ragnarok? It looks pretty.
It is.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to take this. I mean, that would be a good representation. That would be the perfect character to be Kratos if we didn't have who we have.
Yeah.
I feel like DC's was it Aquaman would be a better.
Yeah.
It's just as far as like casting goes.
Yeah, casting wise, Jason Momoa, he would be, he'd be actually perfect casting for that.
I mean,
So-
maybe.
So, but
Yeah.
that is the end of this week's
First edition.
harbinger of memes, and we will
Yeah.
stop sharing the screen.
Have to
So,
get better memes next time.
Thank you so much for those memes because I needed those memes in my life.
well,
Gotta
I
get
mean,
spicier memes.
Yeah.
you mean like last week?
No, absolutely don't do that again, Scott. It was funny, but no, it was too much. But let's jump into some games we are looking forward to in 2023. I actually remember just looking at a small list of some of the ones I was actually looking forward to. Does anybody have any they want to shout, and we can kind of go back and forth, or?
Well, let's let our guest go first. Let's see if
sure.
let's see if there's anything Brandy's looking forward to coming up real soon. Or consoles count too. So if there's a console of some kind that you're looking forward to, let us know.
So my big surprise this year I'm actually getting a PS5
Oh, nice.
Nice.
for the holidays. So, that I definitely want to get a lot more games and start kind of building some of like the newer gen.
Yeah.
I just want to get some PS5 games. Eventually, I'll get the newest Xbox. And then, of course, the Switch. I'm always looking for games on that. So, what I like to do is don't look up a lot of games, but if I hear of something that kind of piques my interest, just because games get delayed and canceled and stuff all the time, or like delayed and their date just gets pushed back.
Right.
So I know that there are a couple that were mentioned. I'm not 100% sure that they are going to come out, if there's official dates or not, but there is a few. I know that you hinted on one earlier, so I'll let you talk about that one. Of course, we're all excited for that. But
Yeah.
I would say it looks like there might be a new Street Fighter coming out.
Yep, that's my second mention for sure. That's my
So-
actually biggest excitement now. So,
I'm always excited for any sort of like fighting style game.
me too.
So that is one that I'm, definitely looking forward to. And then another one, I think it's like Suicide Squad.
Yep.
Of course, you have like the
Kill
DC
what's
characters.
it called? I had it on here. Oh, Kill the Justice League. It's called. So,
Yes.
I think
So
I've heard of
always-
it.
I always
Yeah.
love those, type
It's-
of games.
it's the sequel to the Arkham series, right? Am I right?
I have no
It's
idea.
now the sequel. I think it is. I could be wrong on that, but I know it's the same
Could be a
studio.
sequel.
Yeah, I think it's like the newest addition to the series.
Well,
so.
if it's going to be a prequel to the Arkham series, then I'm
No,
in.
not prequel. Not prequel. We already got a prequel. Origins.
No, you said prequel to the series. I thought it would be like before Arkham Origins.
No, I think it should be after. What's the last one? Arkham. No,
Knight.
Arkham Knights. Is it Knight? Okay, Arkham Knight. So it should be set after that.
Which I still have to finish Night.
Yeah, it's a good game for sure. Do you have any others, Brandy, that you're looking forward to? Or
When I read the list, quite a few like popped out, but obviously, for Zelda,
yeah, that's the big one.
One more.
Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, how do you feel about that title?
Tears?
Tears of the Kingdom.
That seemed obvious, but people wanted to question it.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I'll
I mean, how do you
indulge.
feel about that though? That's kind of it's a little bit of a weird title, but I assume the game's going to make it make sense when it comes out, right? We're probably, yeah, I wonder.
I would assume so. I'm hoping there's more story into it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, there wasn't any story in Breath of the Wild, really.
Be nice to get more confirmation of like previous games in this game, referencing some games to be like, hey, this is like for sure after everything, because there's like references in game, not just developers telling us. That's like a personal
Yes.
thing.
It's obviously definitely referencing Skyward Sword.
That's
Of
what I would
course.
assume, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, they're in the sky. Yeah, I guess you would assume so.
It's the first
I
one.
know that. Yeah, I know that for me, a couple that, not like crazy ones, but definitely ones I'm going to play and look forward to. Dead Island 2. That's been a game in development for about 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's one that.
That doesn't speak that it's going to be a bad game at all.
Yeah. Duke
No,
Nukem.
that's
Duke
why I'm
Nukem.
saying I'm not crazy excited about it now, because it's had so many reiterations of what they're doing, and I think they even like stopped and started development again and just took some stuff over. But that's one for sure. Hogwarts Legacy, that's another big one that I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping it's good. Skeptical, but it's one I'm looking forward to.
Seems like it's got potential to be a good game.
Yeah, I think it does too. I think it's more of a, what would you call it? It's like I don't know if the word is type of game, but yeah, I'm hoping. I feel like it's a game that's going to have continued development for a long time. That's my worry, is that we're going to get it, and it's going to be like a beta version of the game essentially, and I don't know. It's hard to say. Starfield, looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
That's
what
massive
I'm looking
one.
forward to too.
Yeah.
That's a
I
massive
just want it
Bethesda
out
game.
so I know that we're now on the time. The clock's officially started on Elder Scrolls 6.
6.
That's a
Yes.
personal thing.
That's
I
all
hope-
I want
I hope
too.
Starfield's a good game. But
Mark, I think there's a lot of people that are in the same that have the same. They feel the same
been
sentiment you
over
do, and I'm
10
one.
years, it's frustrating.
Mhm.
It is.
Yeah.
I agree. And I don't even care. I'm actually not a big space themed guy, believe it or not. Like I like my Star Wars, but I'm not big on the like I like the like how Elder Scrolls is versus it being like a space theme where you deal with aliens and all the stuff you're doing there. Just doesn't excite me as much. I like medieval
Oh
kind of
no, science like
stuff.
space sci-fi mecha is like my niche. So it's not.
Mecha, yeah, it's entirely different than
They
like
kind of
Star Trek.
intertwine together more often than not, but
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I would say there's definitely a few that I do not have on here. I can't pull up my list for some reason. They're Nintendo
cross your
based, but I know
fingers where we get Metroid Prime 4 next year. That'd be nice.
it would be nice. Yeah, that would be at the top of my list, even though I like Zelda better. But this game we have waited so long for. I I don't know. Wild, but yeah, go ahead, Mark. So you got other
I mean,
mentions
you
for
kind of
next
hit
year?
the two that I know of that I was tracking, plus the other Zelda one. I don't know any other major games that are coming out next year that I'm like for sure gonna buy.
Fire Emblem Engage that comes out right at the end of January.
Well,
That was fun.
there's one that you did not mention that I'm surprised that you did not mention,
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
have that. I have that special edition pre-ordered.
Yep.
So God,
How much
how
was
did
the
I forget
special
that?
edition?
It was like I want to say like 169 or something, but
And
I don't have
what,
it paid. I just have it locked in.
was there a statue with it or something? What was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Well, who-
Leon's
say-
got you.
You paying that much money, I better be getting something physical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you go to a physical GameStop store, I don't know if people know this, but you can put $5 down on something. So a lot of these I'll like run to the store when it gets announced, put the 5 down, figure it out later. And a lot of times I give it to other people. I did it with Lucas for two things: the God of War Special Edition and the controller. I've done it a whole bunch, so it doesn't always have to be for me, but it's cool to have that locked in for a friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fire Emblem Engage is the other big one. That's one I'm looking forward to a lot. It looks like kind of a new take with a more open world esque game with Fire Emblem. It's not like a full open world, but it seems to be doing something a little bit different. And then Tales of Symphonia Remastered. This is a big opportunity for people to get in that series with what may be the best one in the series that I think deserves to be getting a remaster. Like it deserves it legitimately. And then I think the only other one that I can remember that I had on here, Octopath Traveler 2. Looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks cool for sure. What you guys got?
There is one that is actually there's a couple, but there's one that is coming out that's I saw it on a list and I looked up a video for it and it looks just crazy. It's called Atomic Heart and it comes out February 21st, and it's by Mundfish I think it is, and it's first person shooter, but I can't quite describe it. It's it is an absolutely gorgeous game, and it just looks like it's just chaos. It has all kinds of futuristic kind of stuff going on. I can't even describe it. It looks, if you could think of,
I saw something about it. It looks really cool.
yeah, like you know how like when you play like Stubbs the Zombie and it has that 1950s futuristic kind of a look.
Yeah.
This, in a way, kind of has that going on, but it's not so the mindset of the 50s, what the future would look like. It's kind of like how BioShock is, where it has that stylistic look to some things, but not necessarily BioShock-like.
Right.
It's a mind-blowing looking game, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. And that's coming out for everything, of course, except for the Switch, because the Switch can't handle it. Sorry, Nintendo. You build Wii things, so I mean, until you start playing with the big boys. Sorry. I do like my Switch though. Blood Bowl 3. I'm not a big sports fan, but if it's something that's a little more on the niche
Arcadey.
side, arcadey, that kind of a thing, I'm in. That's coming out in February. Of course, Resident Evil 4 in March, and then System Shock Remastered.
Yes.
I remember playing System Shock a long time ago. I didn't own it. A buddy of mine had it, and I was playing it at his house. And I was like, this is really cool. and now that the remake or the remaster is coming out. And then you already mentioned Dead Island 2. That's allegedly going to be in April. So,
Yeah, it might
but
be an April
also,
Fool's.
Delayed.
yeah, you never know. But then April 15th, there's a lot of Star Trek type games that I don't care for, but the one that I saw that's coming out called Star Trek Resurgence, that one looks really, really cool. So that's something that I would actually sign up
I
for in a
don't. I
heartbeat.
don't think I've heard about that one. What
Check
style of
out,
game we're looking at?
I saw a video for it, and it's not just like a regular space shooter. I mean, I know you have like a lot of bridge operations and things like that, but I know it's
Yeah.
not like a micromanaging kind of a
Is it
game.
is it like a sequel to the Vectrex Star Trek? Maybe.
No, no, no.
Oh
No, but
man.
I'll tell you what, that game on the Vectrex, because of course that's the arcade game that they
Mm.
turned into the Vectrex and the ones for the Ataris and all that stuff. My favorite version, I mean, I have it for the Atari 2600. I have it for the Commodore, and even though the Commodore version's really really pretty, I still my nostalgic place still goes to the Atari one. So that's the one I always like to play with that game. But no, it is not a sequel to that. You'll just have to look up a video. Sometimes, you'll see something that's brand new that's coming out, and because it kind of looks a little different or whatever, you can't quite describe it to others. And then once they see it, you can kind of, get a handle on what's what. So just check out a video. You'll go, oh yeah, that looks pretty good, as opposed to, oh yeah, the last few that have come out have been kind of like, eh. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out for sure. Sort of in the same vein, Brandy, we'll start with you. What are some like collecting goals that you have, or as far as that area with video games, whether it's just, something that you just want to play that isn't new or anything like that for the next year?
So pretty much every year, I kind of I guess go over certain goals that I had, throughout the entire year. So I started kind of jotting down some things of what I want to accomplish 2023. And obviously there are quite a few things that, I want to get, whether it be trying to complete like another game set or, finish up and get some really cool like different system variants or controller variants and things like that. One thing that I always tend to go for in my collection are those displays.
Yes.
So this year I really want to, get lucky like I have been doing over the past year. I want to try and find more like signage, more displays, more kiosks. Just try and get into like those store display items that you just don't see, nowadays. They're just very hard to find. That's kind of what I go into a little bit more. This past year was extremely lucky for me, where I've gotten a lot of different, lights, and then never did I think I'd have, a Sega like Genesis store display cabinet, and then, I ended up getting two this year. And
Wow.
then even a fiber optic sign, a World of Nintendo fiber optic sign.
that's
Getting
cool.
getting one of those local to me, and not having to pay the $6,000, price
That's
point on it.
incredible.
Didn't even have to pay, you know, into like the four digits. Didn't have to pay that at all. So that was definitely exciting, and it was local to me. And then even the Mike Tyson's Punch Out Nintendo Entertainment System standee, still sealed in the original
Wow.
1987 box that Nintendo shipped out to stores, where you have the 5'9" Mike Tyson. And then getting
Neat.
offered, close to $10,000 for cardboard is insane, but, not wanting to sell it because it's a part of history and it's something that should be like preserved.
Yeah.
And I only paid $80 for it, so
Wow.
it's
Wow, yeah.
beyond insane. So I think this year I just really want to focus on, I guess, like more quality instead of quantity. Now I say that, and then I kind of like counteract that when I say that I want to go for some full game sets. I am like two physical games, not including homebrews, away from the Vectrex. I just need two
Nice.
more for a full set of those. I do have quite a bit of homebrews for it, and they're always coming out with more. So I'm
Yeah.
always looking, forward to that. So just different things like that. Some apparel items as well. Oh, nice.
Yeah. I've got a
Yes.
couple different cards. But yeah,
Yeah, it works better when you get one of those and then you can just, play whatever. It's something about, getting the overlays and stuff too with the actual games. I just need 2 of the 3D games. 3D
for the
Mindstorm
3D
and,
imager, yeah,
yeah, and 3D Crazy Coaster. I do have like Madtronics made a 3D
yeah,
imager for it. So
yes.
I do have one of those and I have both color wheels
I
to play
missed
the
out
game.
on that. I was super disappointed because they went like that with him, and I was so bummed. That's my number one accessory that I want is the 3D
Yes.
imager. So
Just
for
it's
sure,
something cool, with like the
yeah,
Vectrex. I love playing that system. It's
me
one that
too,
it's just easy to set up and just kind of get into playing some
for
of
sure.
that. And then Super Nintendo, I really want to kind of hone in and get a lot more games for that system. I'm trying to go for a full set. I have a lot of the filler titles already out of the way, so I'm trying to hone in a little bit this year and hopefully get some more good deals. Find some hundreds of dollars worth of games for just a few dollars. That's always what I enjoy doing and what I hunt to find. So
I pray for
a
that
little bit
every
of
night of my
boredom.
life.
To stay
Yeah,
patient.
yeah, absolutely. That's why I was saying earlier about something you really want. It's not worth spending out crazy money on doing that. I think that the Vectrex is a good one to go for. I was going for it too. I did not have any of the 3D games and was missing 2 of the regular games in the set. So, and I stopped doing it. I was also at the same time trying to do the Jaguar set, and I just stopped for the time being. But yeah, I think my headset cut out.
Yeah,
Can you
it did
still
there
hear
for a
me?
second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
good.
What do you got going on, Scott? What are you thinking?
Well, I think just getting hold of a Vectrex would be great, and I don't care so much about too many of the actual games, collecting wise. If I got a couple multi carts, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
And then of course some of the overlays, so that'd be pretty cool. And then I wouldn't mind getting the new Evercade that's coming out, the
EXP.
XL, yeah, the XP, and then and then you said that there was another one that they were going to be coming out
It's
with
been there's
rumored.
been talks on the like a second version of a console
Yeah.
one as well. So
So I think it's
yeah,
just like, maybe I should wait on that.
definitely wait. Definitely wait.
There's collecting wise, there's always just little holes here and there that I just like to try to fill, and it's always fairly common stuff. There's really nothing that's holy grail for me. The only thing that's holy grail is the Vectrex itself. There's really nothing that there's nothing that I would probably see someplace. I mean, and of course a Jaguar system, but there's a buddy of mine that has one, and I should, one of these days we'll get together and I'll get it off of him because the cool thing is he bought his the same time I bought mine. When I bought mine, I got it. Yeah, actually, I bought mine used, but it was in its box and it was complete and everything. And it was like when they were still selling games, so the system hadn't failed yet. And he bought his brand new from the same place because I bought the used one. And he came in, he goes, "Oh, you got that used one?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I'll just go buy it new." Well, he still has his, and it's still in its box. It's still got everything with it, and it's just sitting in his closet, collecting dust. So he was just like, "Yeah, I'll sell it to you next time I see you." But it's just like he and I rarely get together. So one of these days I'll be able to get my hands on that. But otherwise, I really can't think of anything that's not common. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What you got going on, Mark, that you're thinking that you want to get next year?
I mean, nothing that's like hard to get. It's just like the only thing that it's like I've just been wanting to do a while. I either never got it, or when I finally say, "Hey, I want to do this," I just don't have like the time or the money. It's just getting like the Super Famicom, like the Japanese version of like the GameCube and the 64, and getting like essentially having double copies of those systems and games. So I have the American version of games that I liked, and then the Japanese versions of those like same kind of games.
That's cool.
Nothing that's like hard, or it's just a slight inconvenience. But I mean, when I was in Okinawa, I mean, you could find Super Famicons relatively cheap, and games just as cheap.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's uncommon.
Right.
Just one of those things I just, for whatever reason, never got around to getting. Anything older than that, like what you all like to talk to, it's too old for me. It's too retro. But
And
that's
keep in
funny.
mind,
Like,
Mark is just a few months older than me. I just turned 29. So.
I didn't grow up with these systems, so I've got very little interest. Plus, I've seen the gameplay. I'm like, there's not a whole lot there for me that I would find enjoyment out of. But that's like a personal thing.
Yeah, the Vectrex there isn't a whole lot play wise. I think it's kind of like how the Atari is. It's just like it's there for a few minutes and
Yeah.
Yeah, when I play it,
Yeah.
I pop it on for a few minutes. I'm not
yeah.
getting deep into a 4-hour gaming session.
I
That's
don't
what I
think
like to
that
do.
you really didn't start seeing games that you could really start delving into until you
Yeah.
started seeing, the Commodore 64, the ZX Spectrum, stuff like that. And then, of course, when it came to consoles and stuff, really being able to delve into something, like the original Nintendo
Yeah.
and so yeah, I understand that because I've got my Atari 2600 collection. I've got a few 7000 games and stuff, but it's to pass the time for 5-10 minutes. There's nothing you're going to sit there and go, oh damn, I got to save and come back to Asteroids.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's just
Adventure's a
arcadey.
deep game.
I hate that game. God,
know
I
you
hate
do.
that game.
I know you do.
Oh,
I'll say for me, I don't. It's hard to say because I'm switching like to EverDrives for everything right now that's there for it, and then I think mine would just be get the other EverDrives I need. So that would be NES, Super Nintendo, original Game Boy, so I can play those like FPGA, and I think the links I've got
Nice.
64 GBA and TurboGrafx and the Jaguar game
which
drive.
links do you have, or do you have both of them?
I had the Model 2. No, I wish I had the one. I wish I had the
Really?
one.
I
Yeah.
prefer the Model 2.
Most people do, but I just like the Model 1 better for me. But other than that, I'd say doing the systems, like I got the Pico boot done to the GameCube, which I'm going to be working on a video for. So doing oh God, I can't think of what it is right now, the GDEMU for the Dreamcast, and then X Station for the PS1. I want to do those. Like I'm real collecting goals other than Vita and 3DS, going for full sets for those. So other than that, I guess like actual collecting, really just Vita and 3DS for me.
Yeah, that is a good point because occasionally if I see some Vita stuff that's fairly inexpensive and it's something that I like to play, I would never go for a full set because there's a lot of JRPG stuff and RPG stuff, and I'm just not into that stuff. And if people like that, that's great. I'm just not into it myself. But occasionally I come across some Vita titles and I'm like, oh yeah, give me that. Give me that.
I mean, I'm also collecting PS5 and Switch, gotten heavy into that. Like, I love my retro stuff, but it doesn't make sense for me right now with prices. Like, it just didn't make sense. So, but I'm not doing like full sets or anything. I'm just collecting what I collect or find cheap. Like, I think I showed you guys, but like most of these PS5 games I've gotten for like $15 or under. I've only paid even close to retail for 2 games.
Because
And
most
that's
of them
got
like,
it.
relatively quickly go on sale because
They go
it's
so quick.
Yeah.
It's so cheap to collect for. Like cheaper than Switch, cheaper than really Series X. I see PS5 games go on sale quicker than those. So it's
Yeah, I
like,
see PS5, PS4, and Series X and Xbox One titles on Amazon all the time for like
all the time.
$9.99, $7.99, $3.99.
someone
And
bought the
it's not-
game and just wants like some money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. And quality games. Deathloop was just on sale yesterday for $10. Best Buy. Got a tweet about it. Sent to one of my buddies. That is a solid game. And I got a deal on it for 25. So like there's like just as an instance here, I showed these the other day, I think. But Hades at this haven't opened up yet, $10. And Hired Gun I got for $10 at GameStop. It's like just so cheap. And
Yeah, Hired Gun. I want to check that one out myself. But that's only PS5. That's not PS4 title.
no, yeah.
Did
I
they
mean,
come out
I
for
don't
the
know.
PS4?
I'm
Or
not 100%
is
sure.
that PlayStation exclusive or is that on Series
No,
X
it's
as
on
well?
it's on Series X,
Is
yeah.
it? Okay, I'll have to check it out then. Because
Yeah.
that looked really cool.
And then like Mortals Phoenix Rising, I got for $5, just for instance. So just more of that. That's really it for me next year. I'm not going for anything crazy. There's stuff I want, but the chance of getting that next year is not likely. So just some of that cheap stuff, really.
Yeah, but cheap is good, especially when it's a good game,
But
as
it's
opposed
fun,
to,
like,
cannon fodder, bunch of crap that's like, oh, this is real cheap. It's like, no, when it's like that Deathloop. I'm glad you got hold of that. Just, I mean, even though it's on, or was, I don't know if it's still on, Game Pass. You know how what I consider Game Pass. Unless
yeah, I
it's,
would, even if it was on there,
yeah,
$10 for.
because it'll eventually go away.
Yeah.
And unless it's something that's a Microsoft property, if it's an IP that they own, it'll stick around probably for a good long time. But otherwise, all Game Pass is an extended trial period for you. And I really do wish that, because I got talking about this yesterday, I really do wish that on the games, and I know why they do it. I wish on the games, like, even if you bought the disc and you put it in, and if it's on Game Pass and you don't put the disc in, it'll still start right up because it'll
Yeah.
it'll say, and that's cool.
Yep.
But if you just downloaded it from
disc.
Game Pass,
Oh.
and you have the disc, it'll say, please put in your disc or go to our online store. Well, that's great marketing for them. But what I wish that they would do is, for your games that are on Game Pass, whether you put the disc in and put it on your system yourself or you downloaded it from there, it should say Game Pass in the corner of your system,
Yep.
on the corner of that game. And when it's gone, then that little moniker, that little logo should go away. That way you know that either A, I have to go buy it, or B, I have to go grab my disc. Because also, if you sit down to play something and it's like, now it's going to be on Game Pass for say 3 or 4 months, you don't even have to go grab your disc, and you're not going, oh shit, I'm putting the disc in and putting the disc in. Well, no, you don't have to. So it's just a little convenience marker. That's all. It's
Yeah.
nothing that, and it's just good design, to just say, hey, this is what this is. And because there was that one game it's rather expensive to buy physically, The Gardens Between. I
Yeah.
downloaded that, and then when I finally went to go play it on Xbox, oh, you got to buy it. And I was like, oh, shit.
I think that's a
And
limited run title, right?
it is,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah, I thought
expensive.
so. Yeah.
It is expensive. And they only came out with it on the Switch.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll
that's
probably just end
crazy.
up buying it. But if you get the deluxe set, you can get it for you can get the deluxe set for right around $120,
Oh, okay.
maybe. But, it can be even more expensive than that if people are trying to gouge or whatever. But, you can get just the
Sure.
game itself for around $60 or $70. Sometimes 50 if people are willing to part with it used. But it's a marvelous looking game. But so that's on my list. I want that game too. So
Sure. Well, Brandy, do you want to shout out anything or any mentions before we start reading off our closing?
yes, do shameless plugs. Shameless plugs. We're all about shameless plugs.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're about shameless plugs. I'm not.
Now, I guess something else that I'd like to mention. So I know that we briefly hit on this. So another goal that I kind of have for next year is I'd love to go to more video game conventions because, like everyone has mentioned before, you see different things in different states, in different conventions. I like to branch out and go to different areas as well. That way you can, you meet tons of cool people.
Yep.
And it's awesome to go to those conventions so that you can meet other like-minded people. And, everyone's usually so nice in this hobby. And it's just a great time when you go. You get to, put a face to the name, in person. And you get to branch out and just see all these really awesome people. And then even just seeing what type of, things are out there and the pricing. And sometimes it's way cheaper at certain conventions than what I would typically see at game stores or, in my area. Sometimes you do see things that kind of shock you, like the after pandemic prices, where you're like, wow, glad I bought that game when I did because it's worth X amount, more or X times more than what I paid. So that's always something that I really enjoy. Not too sure 100% of which ones, I'll be going to, but I do have quite a few in mind that I would love to go to. Usually some are 1 or 2 day, conventions.
Yep.
So that's always something that I really enjoy just because I love this community. I love how everyone comes together. Once again, I'm thankful that you guys, had me on here. We got to talk about some games and stuff, get other perspectives. It's always a blast. And, you could be, not really know each other and not really talk, and then you just connect over a couple different things. It's a really cool opportunity and, cool thing to see. So
yeah, it is. I
kinda
mean,
what
you're
I'm-
always networking within this community, and that's one of the best things about having these groups and pages and things is the networking and friends. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
that is a really good point because when you go to gaming conventions or even on different groups and things like that, you find a lot of people who are who are willing to go out of their way. And I mean, I remember seeing something here a couple years ago, and this was before I had a YouTube channel or anything, where there was a family in the Toledo area and their house had burned down.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like getting close to Christmas time, and then everybody just, especially in the gaming community, you had a couple of kids in the family. I think they were like 10, 11, something like that. These people lost everything, and luckily they had a church family to help them, and that sort of a thing. But the gaming community, they were even coming together and they were just going, hey, what can we get for these kids so they have something to play with, and so they don't feel like they had so much they lost. So that was like really, really great, for people. I think somebody gave at that time, this might have been, I want to say it was like 2018, 2017, this happened. And they ended up getting I think they got like a brand new, I think it was a Xbox One or something at the time. I don't think the Series X was out then. And so, they got a whole bunch of other cool things, and they got a bunch of clothes and stuff. And that was just like really great that these people came together, and it was just like, people being, not just people being generous, but people just being human, because it doesn't matter what side of the fence you sit on politically. It doesn't matter what color your bone coverings are, whether what part of the country you're from. None of that stuff matters. We're all people. Help people out, because adults, we get stressed out. Kids get stressed out too, because they're kids, they're people. So I'm glad to see when the community comes together and helps people out like that. But also there's also other things like, what if you're looking for something? You're looking for something specific, and it might be too expensive. There might be somebody who has 2 or 3 of something in their basement. Or, hey, if you're looking for a gaming kiosk, what if you're looking for a Wii gaming kiosk? Somebody might be having one that, hey, my wife says I got to get rid of this because, we're going to be doing blah, 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 and we're going to be moving soon. So it's got to go to somebody. Free. The gaming community, Facebook, things like that, it's where it's at, because I think we have some of the friendliest people in any community out there. I mean, except for
Especially
people
in
who
the
are
lounge. I mean, in the Game Junction lounge, I mean, people in there, awesome.
Yeah. There's a lot of nice
Absolutely
people.
love it.
And Ohio Retro Gamer, when I was on a couple of their things and seeing people like looking for stuff and people looking for stuff for other people, and then in Game Junction too, people looking for stuff. It was just, I don't know, it kind of gives me a little bit of hope for humanity, and it's all from people who just love video games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Scott, did you want to hit the? I don't have them pulled up.
I have them
Or
right
you-
here. Okay, so if you want to see everything and anything Game Junction and the gaming community, you can check our Linktree. It's Linktree/Game Junction. And of course, if you'd like to support Game Junction, you can check us out on Patreon, support and get the extra scoop on all things Game Junction, including discounts on merch and special role on Discord. It's patreon.com/game_junction. And of course, you can join Buzzsprout with our affiliate link. That is buzzsprout.com, and we'll have a link for that because it's a long number and I'm not reading it on the air. But it will be in the links there. And you can have a shot of Dubby, Energy, official sponsor of the Game Junction podcast. You get 10% off Dubby X Energy Mix with code GameJunction1. And that is at www.gg/discount/GameJunction1. And we have some new gear.
I'll try to interrupt you. We got.
Yeah.
I was looking at the bonfire link. It's actually /store/game-junction. So I will have to fix that for the video.
For Bonfire. Well, you go. Well,
Yes.
I'll have you go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
we added some new merch, so this will be a few weeks later, but there's some new merch on the website. We added a bunch of different styles of shirts, hoodies, women's, unisex, men, and some used shirts. And we got the basic Game Junction logo, and then we have the Game Junction Podcast logo, and a ton of collars, ton of styles. It's offering like 5 times more than what we have for the CRT design.
And there will be some more styles coming soon, but just keep looking, because of course we're all human and it takes us a little time to just get some stuff made so we can get some new stuff out there. So some new exciting stuff coming in the new year for you.
Just want to add where it's available. All this stuff will also be in the description for this video or podcast, wherever it's available.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Brandy, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Definitely appreciate it. It was really cool. I think everybody had a good time. Where can we find you?
Well, once again, thank you guys for having me. Definitely a blast. Catching up on some things, learn some things as well. So definitely going to be looking out for some games coming, next year. Well, pretty much I have all sorts of, social media. Most of the time it's either Gamer Ahmer or like the name Gamer Ahmer. You can find me on YouTube mostly, TikTok. I am on, Facebook. I do have a group and stuff on there. And then even Instagram. And then all these like smaller ones, where I don't really have too much of a following on those. But pretty much anywhere you can just go ahead and Google it. You can also see me on Hulu. So that's pretty cool. It's if you have Hulu, it's Impact. And then it'll show like by Nightline because it's ABC News, and it's the Taylor Swift episode, so episode 8. About 20 minutes into it, so 20 minutes into that episode.
We'll skip to the 21-minute mark. So
yeah.
Don't have to watch the rest of it.
Yeah, 20 minutes on, there I am. So, I mean, feel free to watch the whole thing too if you are into, Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster thing and everything else. But definitely, just all over social media.
Yeah, we appreciate having you on. We had a good episode tonight. Appreciate everybody watching, and we will be back again next week with a non-special episode.
Yes,
going back to our regular Sundays.
And Happy New Year! Yeah,
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year! You better go get your party hats and stuff, because it's going to be time to watch the ball drop and all
About that time.
Yeah.
About that time. All right, guys. See you later.
See you soon.
See you.